And that's why I can't eat carrots anymore.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a long day, man. I'm a little sleepy. I'm going to try and bring the energy levels up, Henry, because this is such an important topic.
It is. I'm feeling good too. So if I have to cover for you a little bit,
You never pick up my slack.
No. Yeah. I have high expectations for you.
Pick it up, bro.
I believe in you.
But no, so I think probably the most common question that we get, or I would say the most common concern that newer artists have,
or thing that holds artists back in their minds.
Help me out. You're already picking up the slack.
I'm doing it.
It's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what is he saying? No, but I think the number one thing that a lot of artists think holds them back is money, bro. Cash, money, moolah, the cheddar, the guapola.
And it's fair because everything in this industry costs money, and
who does it all fall on?
The artist.
The fucking artist, man. Y'all pay for everything.
And you guys don't really get paid like that, The artists aren't getting money. I mean, we've all seen the headlines.
Definitely not starting out.
Yeah.
If you're a developing act, you're fresh in this shit, you're new, you have no fans, no following, it's expensive to just get started. Like, it takes investment, right? Now we've probably done a whole other episode or talked a lot about like things that you can be doing for free, but this is an episode where we want to just brainstorm ideas on how artists can fund their music career when they're basically starting from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Like,
whether or not you have any fans that will pay for anything right now, there are still some things you can do.
For sure.
So you're in the right place already by listening to this.
Number one, bro, let's just get it out of the way. Everyone loves to hate on it. They think they're too cool for this shit. Get a fucking other job. Like, let's
just get a job.
Let's just like get a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Like, we're not too cool for that, guys.
No.
Like, you're not going to make a sustainable living out the gate in music. So every one of your favorite artists who was a new artist, like, had a side hustle, had another job. So like, let's just do that.
We got to normalize that a little bit too. I think it's cool that there's a lot of content formats on TikTok that are working, kind of showing off, your job and showing that it makes you, look relatable. It's humbling, and it is going to pay the bills quite literally, and you got to carve out time in those off hours when you're not at work to make sure you're busting your ass to do everything you can to win, outside of that. But yeah, absolutely. We got to normalize it more.
Bro, we all love an underdog story. And what's better than an artist putting in the fucking work at their 9-to-5 so that they can, make a living, pay the bills, take care of their family, take care of their loved one, take care of themselves. But like, they're chasing this dream, bro.
If I see a guy like bagging groceries at Publix singing the most beautiful hook, I'm like, I need this guy to win. I'm following his journey.
Yes. Like, comment, share, stream.
Take my data, like whatever. Yeah. Can I donate?
For sure, man. So I do think it's beautiful that, the 9-to-5 is becoming a little bit more normalized.
Yeah.
But like, let's start there, guys. Okay. So
you have that option.
Yeah,
now we're going to get a little more creative.
Okay, now we're going to get a little more creative. Crowdfunding.
Like,
what the fuck ever happened to GoFundMe? Like,
GoFundMe, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there was a huge,
they had a moment.
They had a big moment, bro.
But they're still around.
They're around.
Yeah.
And they still work.
Yeah.
I just feel like the only times that we see them is when like someone's house burns down or they have an operation they need to pay for. Like, it's a lot of these like more, I hate to say it, but like, sob stories, right? That kind of pull at our heartstrings.
Yeah.
But bro, like, if you guys have just friends and family, like, once again, you don't have to have fans of your music. You have to have people that like you enough to financially support what it is you're trying to do as an artist. But like, look into crowdfunding, man. Like, it still can work, especially like to get off the ground, right?
Even outside of people, if you can tell a compelling story, with text, or even like by shooting a video, like you can upload in these platforms, however you choose to present your story. If you could tell a good story, you could convince a stranger to help you out, even, I think. And you could even
with no music.
If like, the story's got to be good.
but I hadn't really thought of it that way.
Totally.
You're right. I mean, once again, whatever it is that you're trying to do, like what you want to do with your music, how you like present that story, and like basically what your pitch is to these people, like they might buy into it.
Yeah. And you're an artist. You should be always thinking about how to tell stories. So
yeah,
this is maybe a slightly different format, but it's the same game at the end of the day. You know,
for sure,
going from A to B.
Bro, crowdfunding.
Bring back crowdfunding.
We should do it.
I think
GoFundMe link is in the description of this video.
We're doing it.
We need funds.
I think people are kind of embarrassed to like set it up themselves because you usually see a friend set it up for someone else that needs it. You know
My cousin's dog died.
Yeah, I made this.
We need him to buy a new golden retriever.
Yeah, maybe it is a little bit of ego, but like I think if you want this shit bad enough, you'll tell your story honestly and hope people respond, right?
Yeah, and just the shit's expensive, guys. Like, once again, a lot of stuff you can do for free. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but the shit takes a little bit of cash to get going.
We're team, DIY for sure, but like we're not stupid either. Like shit does cost money. So
for sure.
It's going to be very helpful in the long run.
So something that I hadn't really thought of, but as I was, kind of looking around a little bit and thinking about this episode coming up, there's government grants out there, guys.
Say what?
Like the Gov is handing out cash to artists.
Uncle Sam's going to help me make a mixtape?
Uncle Sammy has got your back, bro.
How does that work?
From what I was learning, it's like there's these local arts commissions and like councils and just these government funded agencies that are like all about like they want art to exist, right? Like it's in the country's best interest to have like art as in like visual artists like painters and photographers, etc., and then musical artists too. So like there are these like it's either local within your city and then there's like federally funded ones, right? And you can literally like go online, search them up. There's grants and scholarships and like all these different types of things that you can apply for. And once again, like probably long application processes, probably
not going to get most of them.
There's probably not many people that get them, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's not, thousands of these probably, right? But once again, I mean,
if you want this shit,
give it a shot. Like who are we to say? Not just because we haven't met an artist who's done this successfully doesn't mean that they're not out there. You know what I mean?
And grant, it's like in college, like that's free money. I'm not paying that back.
There's no strings attached.
Amazing.
But nice segue. Did you mean to do that?
Do what? No.
Paying it back?
No. Loans, dude. Okay, this is with an asterisk. You're talking about going on credit here. Like, this is a dangerous game.
Yeah, wait, should we... we're not financial advisors.
We're definitely not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. Yeah. But, there's credit and there's small business loans. You are a business at the end of the day.
There are. And once again, you kind of talk about, like, you got to be willing to put in the work. Yeah. I think you have to provide some, like, pretty... extensive like business plan documents and
this is how we plan on.
They're not just like the bank ain't just giving you money. Like,
you need a little business literacy, which I think most artists could just go for anyway. This is just yet another reason why understanding business in general, coming to terms with the fact that your music career is a business and treating it as such. If you want it to be the thing that supports you in your life, that's just mandatory. And this is just another reason why having a little bit of business savvy is really going to help you out a long ways. Even when you're hiring, even if you don't want to be that guy long term, and you want a business person to handle your business so you can just make the art and focus on that, you still need an understanding of how it works so you can make sure that you're trusting the right person with that task.
Shit, you're actually right as far as it is kind of killing.
Why do you seem surprised that I'm right?
Well, I mean, it's once in a blue moon that you're actually right.
Okay.
But I feel like this is kind of a perfect opportunity, to your point, to kill two birds with one stone. Mm-hmm. Like, you should have a business plan anyways. Right? Like, you should be very realistic and like goal oriented and like metric driven, right? Of like, hey, how many streams does it take to make X amount of dollars? How many direct to fan sales does it take to make X amount of dollars? How long is it going to take me on average, do I think, to get those amount of sales and followers and streams and merch sales and sync licensing deal, right? Like all these different things that you can include in your business plan. I think, to your point, like it's great for you guys to be thinking this way anyway. So even if the bank denies you, even if they literally don't give you the loan, like that's still probably...
You've learned something.
It's probably a good exercise.
And you have a plan in place, yeah. But Ben, it's not as sexy as going in the booth with my auto-tune, delay, and reverb and vibing.
Well, that sexy auto tune might not get heard if we don't have a solid, plan in place.
Most likely.
Let me take a moment to interrupt this episode and tell you about our friends over at DistroKid. DistroKid is easily the best DIY distributor on the marketplace. Let me tell you why. It's only $23 a year. That's less than $2 a month for you to upload unlimited music to all of your favorite streaming platforms on the planet. It's so easy that it takes me like 5 minutes per upload, and that's when I'm multitasking, dealing with my 2-year-old son. Hands down, my favorite part about DistroKid is how easy it is to add credits to an upload. I don't know what distributor you're using, but with DistroKid, it's super easy. You can put the artist, the producer, the songwriter. I'm pretty sure you can put like the junior associate engineer of a song. And me, I want to know who's on the record. And if you sign up using this link, you're going to get 30% off an already insanely low price. And you can finally start adding your collaborators because they are checking. They will notice when their name's there and they will thank you for doing it. Let's get back to the episode. What do you think? Okay. Private investors. I know this to work. So I know artists who, we're in the rap world. You might know a freaking
rich uncle.
Yeah, you might know, someone who just has some money.
So as opposed to crowdfunding, this is going toward like one kind of person and really pitching them.
Yeah, just like someone who believes in you, bro.
Yeah.
And they might have nothing to, this isn't you pitching a record label to sign you and they're very music industry savvy. This is just someone who believes in you.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe they see the talent super early and they want to be along for the ride. I'm telling you, I know people who have, once again, you're not going to raise probably $1 million from some angel investor who's a savvy investor unless you know some really fucking rich people.
Yeah, but maybe someone has 10 grand to get you started.
Yeah. And you probably don't have to, they're not going to fuck you like a label would either, right?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I've heard of these types of things being successful, and I've also heard them crashing and burning both ways.
What do you mean?
So artist gets support from, investor and then becomes successful and investor never set anything up. There's no paperwork. Investor sits on their ass and makes nothing and maybe doesn't even get their initial investment back and then loses contact with artist. Investor gets fucked. And then also private investor that, has artist sign something. And essentially like a bad label deal, same way. So it can kind of go both ways. So I don't know if you just need to be careful with how these things are structured, I think, whether or not you're getting lawyers and paperwork involved, which I think we tend to agree is the better way to go, even though that can get expensive in itself.
Yeah, fuck. So
this is such
a paradox, bro.
It's tough, but absolutely people, with money are always looking to grow their money. And the best way to do that is kind of taking chances in things that they see being way bigger. So if your art, your music is one of those things, then it's very possible.
Yeah. I just think once again, for me, that one was easy because I know a few artists who have raised once again, even just $1,000, a few $1,000, right? You got an investor that can handle that. It could get you started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Complementary skills.
Yes.
All right. So the best example I have of this is an artist I know who just out of necessity needed to learn how to record himself. Right. Then he became known as
the engineer.
Yeah. It was just all of his rapper friends, his musician friends came to him, be like, yo, could you record me?
Yeah.
And because he could, right? And so he started making some extra pocket change to fund his own music career. So I feel like something like that. Someone else that we know, I think it was fucking Danny Wolf was shooting music videos in the beginning. He was a videographer while he was trying to get his start as a producer.
A lot of you guys picked up extra skills out of necessity already. So using those for, other people, even your main skill, maybe you can get paid for a feature. I guess people that are early in their careers, that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, shit like engineering and videography that are more kind of focused, talent that you have. I could see that definitely being a thing. Even teaching, right? I think you could teach.
Oh yeah.
Lessons on how to do, these things
let's say, let's say you're a guitar player. Let's say you're a singer. Let's say you're a keys player, drummer, whatever the case may be.
Teach it.
Yeah. There's ways to use these complementary skills that you're already going to want to and it's also like good practice. You're going to also already want to develop them anyways.
Yeah.
So why not, like, once again, yeah, we all want to get paid as artists from the beginning, but if you got to get paid doing something else, that once again, this is all about like funding your career in different ways. Right. So I think, that shit, mixing as well. So like, recording engineering,
maybe you make
engineering.
beats, sell some beats on the side. No, the list is
graphic design. Actually, Popstar Benny, this like super dope producer.
That's right.
Used to design cover art once again, because you're already around artists who need things too. Right. So
the
it's
same
like
things that you've probably been trying to learn how to do yourself.
Yeah. So why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one.
This one you brought up before, social media monetization.
Yeah.
So tell them about the conversation you were having with an artist friend of ours about what he's been doing and like how this idea, I guess, came about. Because like it takes time to do this too. So like you're not going to.
This is almost a 9 to 5 for sure. Being a content creator is no joke. You can ask us. But most of these platforms are paying once you do well enough. YouTube is a very popular one that pays pretty well once you start getting into the tens and hundreds of thousands of views. You're starting to see like a real budget coming in. A friend of mine is doing Threads pretty well, and he said his secret was just threading a lot. He just did it a lot. They're pushing people. It's still early, getting on these platforms that are early. They're pushing stuff out. So you do enough threads, they get enough traction. They invite you to a program that's similar to how Instagram was doing.
Yeah, like some creator type of fund or whatever.
Yeah, they do bonuses.
They split the money up.
Cash bonuses. I know a DJ that made $1,700 this month on TikTok. I know a guy who knows a girl
from TikTok. What, the creator fund
I think the creator
the
fund.
shop?
The creator fund.
Okay.
The shop, I know a girl who made 20 grand or something in a month from selling stuff on the shop.
Okay, so explain what the shop is. Like just your like high level knowledge. I know you haven't like dove deep
I'm no
into
expert.
it.
You guys could definitely like look into this further, but essentially
TikTok shop.
TikTok sells an insane amount of items, like items you probably already own. And they pay you a commission if you make a TikTok about it, and that results in sales of the item. And
so
you can
it's like the ultimate affiliate marketing program.
Yeah, and you don't need any like prerequisites to do it. You don't have to get in contact with TikTok.
You just choose the product and make the video.
Yeah.
And people can click on the product. If they buy it, you get paid.
100%.
Yeah.
So TikTok shop is an interesting one if you're already hopefully getting good at making content, trying to make content for your music career. So I would choose products that you actually like. I wouldn't be phony and start advertising like face cream if you never use face cream. I don't know. Like,
no, I mean,
just keep it genuine, but also get your bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then even, X is like Elon's doing the whole thing where he's trying to pay people for views on X. So if you're popping on one platform, that can be maybe not a main source of income, but there's definitely ways to make money off of your social media.
Was that person that made 20K in a month, were they already like a popular creator, or was this like a viral video?
It was, viral video.
Wow. So,
and I think she was at it for a while. It took dedication.
Okay.
Maybe 3-4 weeks even before one popped off.
Well,
but
shit. Doing
it though.
Yeah.
And then it only takes one, clearly.
Oh, I mean, y'all be on the lookout for like a burner account that Henry and I have where we're selling face creams and batteries and fucking
just shilling bullshit.
Towels. God. I don't know. Whatever, candles. You never know what we're going to be selling on this burner account.
Send me an angry DM if you see that. Cuss me out.
Hey, I don't know. If the video went viral, maybe applaud us.
Can we go viral for something that we actually back? Okay. We got to see what type of products.
If there's music products on there, y'all might actually see some shit on our page.
Facts.
All right. So kind of last one I wanted to touch on that. Once again, this takes some degree of like creativity and or some level of an audience. Once again, they don't need to be fans of your music, but you might have to have a little bit of an audience to do this. But sponsorships. So you kind of mentioned like the social media monetization. It kind of goes hand in hand with that. But even outside of social media brand partnerships, like once again, if you are like we know an artist who's making a lot of dirt bike content. Okay. I just talked to him the other day about like, bruh, you have one dirt bike video that had 50 million views.
Yeah.
Like that dirt bike company might give you a fucking dirt bike, bro, for another 50 mil.
Seriously though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once again, then you can sell that dirt bike and fund your music career. I mean, just as an example.
And I don't know how y'all feel, but for me personally, I like the idea of, companies with lots of money helping fund my career than like having to ask my fans. I hate like asking fans for stuff, even though you
got to get over it.
You have to do that eventually.
I was like, he's got to get over that, guys.
I know you do.
There's a donate button in the description.
Okay.
Support the podcast.
There is though. Yeah. But the big thing with this one, I think, is understanding how to pitch and approach a business professionally. Because you guys are like sending some of these emails I see y'all send, like
horrendous.
Hey, bruh, sponsor me or something. Like if you're, just DMing like at Coca-Cola, like it's not gonna work. So, is there any tips you can give people on like finding the right people to contact, how to appropriately pitch your idea for a sponsorship or show someone what you can bring to their company?
Yo, if y'all are in our Discord, let us know if you actually want us to like make a separate video on this whole topic, because I do feel like I could open up a fucking can of worms right now that I don't think we have time for.
Okay.
But I will say this. You mentioned it earlier with like the TikTok shop thing. Let's be genuine. Like, let's be authentic to us. Like the artist that we mentioned that's posting dirt bike content, he rides dirt bikes. It's a huge passion for him, right? Yep. So finding brands and companies that really like resonate with who you are as a person, and then who you are obviously as an artist, right? That's number one.
I think artists love forgetting about the other side of them as artists. Like, you got to not just think about your musician self in that one thing. Like, you are a person, you have other interests, and you have to lean into that. The complete picture of you is what people are going to ultimately fall in love with.
Yeah, like if there's a drink that you drink all the time, right? Like, that's easy. Hit them up, right? Like,
yes,
they might at least give you fuck tons of products. Like, even if they're not giving you straight cash, like they might give you a bunch of product. If there's a clothing brand that you like once again, even if if it's not a Nike or something, like if it's some like lower level clothing brand, hit them up. Local stores and like local brands, right? Like if you're an Atlanta artist, like hit up Atlanta based, companies, restaurants, bars, etc. And shit, you might be able to work something out where like you make some jingle or some like song for them or something in exchange for some little bit of a sponsorship, or maybe you like shoot content at their location, establishment in exchange for, once again, like a little bit of bread.
Shoot a music video there, have their sign in it.
Because bro, it doesn't need to be thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Like if you got a couple $100 from a local pizzeria, that could pay for your music video.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like let's get creative and not think that we got to go like to the Coca-Colas of the world for like this brand sponsorship, version to work out. Because shit, we worked with an up and coming music tech company who, paid us, enough that we wanted to support him and, what he has going on. He wanted to support us. He did what he could financially. It was a mutually beneficial thing. And we posted a piece of content about it because we genuinely fucked with what he had going on. So it was a little bit easier to like make shit shake. You know what I mean?
And people can sniff out bullshit these days, I think, and it's very much a turnoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.